Hello again. Okay, so thank you for those of you who tuned in earlier. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to restart the whole look and just have a good time with you guys without going live. But feel free to ask any questions down below. And or there's a couple other makeup artists on the team as well who would love to answer your questions and help you with color matching or whatever you need. And your advocates are very well trained as well. So let's get started. I wanted to go ahead. One thing I missed earlier when I was talking is I forgot to kind of tell you. So I had done all my skincare, my sunlight, my daylight, my clear light. I prepped my face, made sure it was nice and moisturized because that's very important before you put on your foundation, just to make sure your skin is nice and prepped. I use something really cool. So I wear 2.5, which I can probably get a 2.75, but since I'm going to be a little more white, Casper white in the winter, I'm probably going to go back to my 2. So what I was going to let you guys know is I did use C50 for a contour, and then I used Rosewood for my blusher, which is really nice. I have dry skin, and you can use blusher, you can use this on your lips or on your cheeks. It's very versatile, and that's what I love about Crunchy as well. So let's go ahead and get started. I mentioned earlier the brush sale. Excuse me. I mentioned the brush sale earlier, and I can't wait to get my hands on these eye brushes. So I'm going to use my number 6 concealer brush and my L20 Alibi, my Alibi primer and concealer. Okay, I'm going to put that right in there. As I said earlier, some people have compared this to MAC's primer in the pot. Now, I did wash everything off from earlier. There might be a little fallout from my mascara because I tried to remove some of that too, but I'm going to go right underneath my brows that I've already done with the shade Blonde and my number 10 brush. It's a really nice brush. So with our brushes, I did mention some of this earlier, so if it is a repeat, I am sorry. This is going to help neutralize. And with the brushes, they are triple sealed, laser cut, so they're very high quality. And if you take care of them, they can last you forever. Leanne mentioned she's had hers for 3 months. Now, I haven't been with Crunchy a year yet, but my brushes has held up. They've held up very well. So if you just wanted to cover and just get a nice clean canvas for your face and for your eyes, you could do some mascara and just call it a day, and it would still look really nice. You don't have to do eyeshadow if you don't want to, but we are going to have some fun, and I'm going to show you guys what you can do every day. Okay, just going to clean that up. You can also clean up your brows from the top if you wanted to make those more defined, which is really nice looking too. Okay, so I'm going to place that all over, even as I talked about lines earlier. You want that, the tip of your nose, your brow should stop right about when you go to the crease of or the corner of your eye, your nose, that's where about your brow should start. So we have all that room to play with. So play around with your eyes and your eye type and see what your unique features give you for playing room. So tapped all that in. Okay, here we go. So I am going to use our shadow bar number 1, and there might be more in the future. Keep your eyes out, eyes peeled. So this is our shadow bar number 1. As I mentioned before, there are 3 matte shades and then a really pretty golden luster shade, which looks good on every eye type. It's going to bring out brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes. I was going to do a halo look, but it looks like the daytime look it blew it out of the water. So I'm just going to mention how I can turn it into like a night look or more of a dramatic look. But we can save the halo eye for maybe next time if we do it again, if you guys are interested. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is, it's like our number 7 brush. It's the all over eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to take Faded Mauve. Okay, get that in there. Tap it off. And I'm going to press it onto the eyelid, the mobile eyelid. Okay, I'm going to concentrate it, most of the pigment outer, because as I said, we want to lift and have the appearance of more of a wider eye. We don't want to shut our eyes. Okay, and then I'm going to do it right to where our pupil is. Okay. This is a variation. It does come with 3 looks already when you purchase the palette that gives you like step by step, which is super fun. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my other side, do the same thing here, concentrate on the outside, then bring it in. So I press first to get that, just like you do for your foundation, where you press it in and then you do circular motions. Well, this, I'm gonna press it in and then blend. Okay, and this is all with a number 7. I'm gonna press it in into my crease as well. But now I'm gonna go in with my number 9 brush, my big fluffy brush, and they're very compacted. Whenever you wash them, which I recommend once a month, if you can do it a little more often than that, your brushes will keep very well. You don't ever want to dry them or wash them where the water can get into the glue. You're always gonna wash them. We have a cleansing pad that you can use, and use some gentle shampoo like a Dr. Bronner's or something like that, and just swirl it on there, and then just make sure you dry them where they are flat off a surface. And that is that. Simple as that. Okay, so now I'm going to take my number 9 big fluffy brush, and I'm going to start in the outer corner. Okay, and then I'm going to sweep that in windshield wipers. So I'm going right in the crease. So it's where you're going to be able to see when your eyes are open. That's the area you're going to see. So you might think when you're putting it on, oh man, that's going to be really intense, but it's not, because it's in the crease. And so what we're going to do is we're then going to sweep it upward towards the brow bone. Okay, you use circular motions. I use windshield wiper first. Okay, don't bring it too far in. We're going to give that effect. There are other looks that you can do where you do bring it all the way in, but for this one, we're not. So I'm going to start down and then just bring it up like I did. And remember, we have all of this area to work with. I'm not going to do a winged liner. I'm just going to do a very neutral liner today, but you can bring it even more intense if you were going to do that wing liner. That would look really nice too. Taking more of the faded mauve, starting there, windshield wiper motions, go to about the middle of the pupil. Okay, and we're going to fan that outward. So it's all about adding layers, dimension, and what's best for your eyes. But blending is key. And as I talked about earlier, the tighter and the more of a grip you have closer to the bristles, the more compact and the more pigment you're going to get on there. This gives a more natural application when you're doing more of a natural look. Okay. Okay. Looks pretty even. So you could leave it like that if you wanted to. But I'm going to go in now with, it would be our number 8 brush. Okay. So it's like it's a dome brush. Grabs a lot of pigment. It is very, very compacted. And like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you saw, but where you can use this little hack from your nose to the tip of your brow, and you can sweep that up and make a V. There's a lot of different things. Some people just use a Q-tip at the very end and just clean it up. I'm going to use my concealer brush with some more primer that's left on already. I'm not going to put more on, but I'll explain that in a minute. So I'm going to grab some Bordeaux, tap it off, because this is highly pigmented. I'm going to get it closest to the brow, or excuse me, closest to the lash line as I can. Okay, and I'm not going to bring it all the way in. I'm going to stop about where the faded mauve, so mid to outer, I would say more outer pupil. Okay, and press it in. Okay, now I'm going to go and complete my V. So I just go to the tip, the corner of where I was, and grab that and literally go into the socket. Remember, less is more when you have a really deep pigment, but you can always go back and add more. Okay, so now I'm going to fill that in. Okay, and I'm going to add a little bit more faded mauve. Okay. Circular motions up and out, and blend those two together. Okay, so now it's nice and seamless. There's no lines. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to go ahead and do it right here in my mirror. We're going to clean that up. So if there is a little fallout or you feel like it's a little too low, because it could make your eye appear more drooped down, which is not the look we're trying to achieve, we're going to fix that with our concealer at the end. So don't worry about that. Okay, now I'm going to grab more Faded Mauve. Sweep that in and out. I hope some of these tricks are helping. Just practice, have fun, don't be afraid of it. These colors are so beautiful on every single eye. Very, very happy with what they did. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my number 7 brush with the side that I didn't use before with the Faded Mauve, okay? And I'm gonna grab the Awaken color, this really nice matte color, and I'm gonna press it. Don't sweep it yet. I'm going to press it into the eye. You see how that automatically just opened the eye and made it look more wide? I have close set eyes, so I always like my eyes to appear more wide. Okay. Right there, press it in, and then you can kind of sweep it into the Faded Mauve there. All right, and I'm just going to plop a little right there in my tear duct. Okay, it is matte, but it is going to give a nice widening appearance without having any shimmer there, which I really like because you don't always have to put shimmer there. All right, so now I'm going to use the Awaken again, and I'm going to press it right underneath the arch. Okay, press, and then you can blend. Okay, you can go back in with your number 9. Okay, no lines, blend. There we go. Okay, so that is finished. Now I'll do the same thing the other eye. Press, sweep it down. Same brush, I didn't apply any more color to it, just whatever's left on it. Okay, and blend. And you can always make this more intense, you know, the more you play with it. This is just every day. Okay, now I'm going to apply it on the lash line. Okay, I'm just concentrating it toward the outside, the outer corner of the eye. Okay, and we're going to clean that up. So one thing I forgot to do again. Okay, I warmed up my black for my tight line. Okay, I like doing it at the beginning, and I don't know why I keep forgetting, but I'm human, and it happens a lot. So I am putting that as close. It is a lot easier, and I'll just show you guys. It is a lot easier if you're able to lift your eyelid. And I know it seems a little scary. Hold it, you don't want to hold it too close. Hold it back a little bit. And then just get really, really close to those lashes, okay? And this is that invisible liner I was telling you about that's going to help give a more wide appearance. It's not going to take any of the surface of your eyelids, so you can play with that more. Because I know the older I get, the less eyelid I have. It's fun, but not really. But so I'm going to put that right underneath there. And I'm also just going to apply a little bit of espresso. Really close. You don't want any lines, any spaces. Okay, this is just really basic. Try not to bring it down. You just follow your natural line. Okay, and like I said, we're going to clean it up, and it's going to give more of a lifted appearance without having that winged liner. Same thing to the other side. Do a little down below if you wanted to, like right in the outer crease. Outer corner, I meant. My eyes are starting to water, but that is one thing that I have really enjoyed with Crunchi. No red irritated eyes, no itchiness, all the fun stuff that I experienced before that I just chalked up to, I don't know what I chalked it up to. I just accepted it, I guess. So I'm going to curl the lashes. You don't have to pump or anything. I hold it for about 10 seconds. We have a really nice eye curler as well that I'm probably going to purchase along with my brush set. So those started yesterday, and I hope you guys take advantage of some of those because we do not have sales very often. And the brushes really are amazing amongst the other things that are in the bundles. Okay, so now I'm going to take my mascara. Our eyeliner and our mascara both have organic castor seed oil in there. Our mascara is water resistant, which is great. I actually wore it in the ocean, and I was so surprised that it did not, I didn't look like I had been crying when I came out. So I'm taking this right, don't just do the tips, not yet. So you're gonna press that in to the base of the lashes and just bring that up. Okay. And separate them. This is really good for lengthening and even thickening. Really pretty. Okay. Other side, same deal. Sometimes it helps when you're putting on your mascara to look the other way. So if I'm doing my left eye to you, my right eye, but I'm going to look over this way, and it helps lengthen it to the other direction. If that at all makes sense, I don't know, but it does help. Okay. I was a Chanel Le Volume girl or Dior Show girl. That used to be my favorites and what I would use in my kits. But I am so happy to have found one that is true black color and works. Works, it doesn't make my eyes red, and stays. It doesn't have any residual color that comes down throughout the day. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little bit, wiggle it along the lash line. Same thing here, wiggle it along the lash line, focusing it on that outer corner, and bring it just in just a little bit. Okay, you guys, so this is our eye look. You see it from back here? Okay, so if you wanted to spice it up, you can, obviously you can add a little bit more Bordeaux, so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to add a little bit more Bordeaux, and I know this is almost 20 minutes long, so I'm going to try to make this quick. I'm going to add a little bit more Bordeaux over the espresso that I put on my eye. Okay, I put more pigment. Okay, so you can already see it's going to intensify the look. Okay, into that socket. Okay, I'm going to go back and blend, but I am kind of pressing it upward, okay, into that crease. So you can already see that that has given it more of an intense, beautiful look. And it's not where somebody would say, oh my goodness, she has on a lot of makeup. I don't think so at all. Matter of fact, if you ever sat in my chair or anything, if I worked with you, regardless of what it is, hair shows were a little different, but for a natural look, I would never do anybody that, sometimes they'd have to go somewhere else because I like it to look more natural, but okay, I'm just focusing on that V, and then I'm going to go back in with my number 9 brush, get a little bit of faded mauve, and I'm going to blend it up and out. Okay, this is just a little way to intensify it. Okay, faded mauve, up and out. Okay. All right, if you wanted to do a little bit of pop, here's some Golden Luster. Right above the pupil, you can just kind of press that in there. I would always use your ring, your ring finger, okay? That applies the least amount of pressure. And then I'm gonna use my middle finger and just kind of tap that in. So it's not super bright. It can be super bright, but this look just gives like an illusion when you blink. It's gonna really make your eyes pop. Okay, no matter, like I said earlier, what color eye type you have. Green, it's gonna make them more green. Blue, it's gonna pop. And brown, oh, they're gonna bring them out so beautifully. Okay, there you go. I don't think either of those looks were in the eye palette when you buy it, but feel free to come back and reference this video if you have any questions. Like I said, I would love to answer them. But $48, you get 2 for the price of 4. You get 4 for the price of 2. I have enjoyed working with you guys today. Thank you so much for hanging in and listening, and tell me what your biggest takeaway is. I would love to know. One last thing I'm going to do is date night. We have it in. We did sell out of our bundles, unfortunately, but this is what I'm going to finish my look. Okay, and then if you want to,